Welcome to No Notes. We're your hosts. I'm Colby.
And I'm Alex.
And welcome to episode 1 of No Notes. Alex and I are two gay best friends based here in San Francisco. We're both professionals looking for a creative outlet. So yeah, we're starting a podcast. Alex, maybe you could tell our listeners what they could hopefully hear about on our podcast episodes.
So it's called No Notes. And the reason we called No Notes is we've grown to love traveling and hanging out with our friends. So we've done it all. We've gone to Palm Springs, LA, New York, Mykonos, Spain. Where else have we gone? Everywhere.
Everywhere where the gays go, we've been.
Yeah. So we've grown to love traveling. I think we always joked about not wanting to be like the circuit queens that just kind of, go to party to party, but
We are. I didn't think of myself as a circuit queen, but we are.
We've just learned to like embrace things that we like. Like we love hanging out with people. We love traveling. So we've grown to kind of be okay with, I don't know, going to circuit parties at times if you're okay with that. But things that we've always noticed is that we always have opinions. We love to talk about how things can be improved. So that's why we're calling this No Notes, because we want to, talk about certain things, and we want to talk about queer nightlife and travel.
Yeah, exactly.
So we wanted to start off this segment first about like kind of catching up and talking about the week. So we have a segment called Tops and Bottoms. I have currently this is a Louis wallet because we couldn't find a coin, but if it lands a certain way, Colby will go first, and he's going to have to talk about.
I'm going to have to be a top.
You're going to have to be a top. You have to talk about one positive thing that has happened. If it lands on the tail side, I will go first, and I will talk about a top. And the person that doesn't get picked essentially talks about the bottom of the week. So one negative thing. So we'll do this
perfect
live on air. Let's see. And that is me. I am going to start off with the top of the week.
Natural order of things.
Yes, I am the top. So why not? So it's Fleet Week in San Francisco, and it just so happens to be probably the most summer week of San Francisco history. So it's actually October, but famously our summer starts in the fall. We've had 3 90-degree days this week.
Yeah, close to 90.
It's perfect because, this is the best time to go outside and actually look up and see the Blue Angels and airplanes and whatever.
Did you go?
I did twice. I went today and yesterday.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, I actually didn't know that gay people went to that. So for our listeners that don't know, like Fleet Week is this whole production of like
it's propaganda.
Flight drills. Yeah, it's basically propaganda. It's military propaganda, which San Francisco is kind of the weirdest city for that.
But we love it.
And honestly, though, because I live right beside the Bay Bridge where everyone comes across from Oakland, I think most of these people are coming from the East Bay. Like no one from the city is going to this, except for you, apparently.
No, I've gone twice. I can tell you that I've met up with multiple people. Everyone goes to this. It's huge. Anyways, that's my top of the week. So what's your bottom of the week?
I have something embarrassing to admit.
Oh.
I bought something.
Oh, they can say I bottomed. Like we know, girl.
No, it's been a long time. I'm in my top era. But I bought one of those
mini Kellys?
No, I did buy a mini Kelly, but I bought a iPhone tripod and ring light combo.
Why?
So I feel like just branching out overall creatively. I'm 3 or 4 years late to this game, but I thought I would give the whole TikTok outfit of the day thing a swing. So
I think you'd like that. I think that it's also very up your brand already. You're kind of already doing that with Instagram, so why not?
Yeah, and like Instagram just feels like maybe not the right avenue for it. Like I'm already, right, you're already getting dressed every day. I like fashion. It's a great way to just like share the things that like excite me about it and make me like commit to something creatively, and also I've been listening to a whole bunch of like other podcasts and notes about creating more than you're consuming. And I spend a lot of time on TikTok. As you know, Alex and I both send each other countless TikToks all day long. And so I thought it might be a good way for me to like engage with the platform and focus on creation and like adding something rather than just consuming all day.
Yeah. I mean, we have talked about less focus on our 9 to 5 and more on like what we like to do.
Right. Which is the point of this podcast.
Right.
But I also thought it'd be nice to do it in a couple of different ways each week.
So that's good.
Yeah, but it's kind of a bottom because it's like, I don't know. It feels like, I guess I've avoided it because it feels basic. It feels derivative. Like there's so many people doing it that it's hard to feel like you have something new to say or add to this space. And I think another thing is that obviously I'm really into like luxury fashion, and that feels tone deaf in this environment, in this world we're in, where there's just bad things happening every day. But I'm trying to focus less on that, just focus on things that bring me joy, and hopefully that's like inspirational and helpful to others.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So we wanted to first talk about, I guess like we chosen Folsom as the first episode. And the reason why I really for this is because Folsom is so quintessential San Francisco.
It's an icon. She's an icon.
Exactly.
She's a legend.
And we live in San Francisco. We met in San Francisco. So I feel like it's just natural that we begin with Folsom.
Yeah. Something that's not really either of our, it's not really the community that we fit in per se, but
I love Folsom because it like everyone fits into it.
Right.
It's so diverse.
It's a melting pot.
Exactly. There's so many different body types. There's so many different avenues that people, become creative, whether it be fashion, like it's extremely sex positive. So it's fun.
Why do you go again?
Fuck you. First of all, no. So, Folsom though, like it celebrated its 40th.
Yeah, this is the 40th anniversary. There's over I think it's close to 400,000 people were expected to attend, which is an insane amount of people. And this is all happening around I don't know, just a couple of city blocks or something like that.
I always forget how big it is. They close off quite a big chunk of of Folsom Street. It's probably at least 4 to 6 blocks.
So I saw one thing that said 6, and I saw another thing online that said 10. So yeah, it's a lot of space, and
maybe including the cross streets,
right? And it's not really a residential area of Soma. It's a lot of businesses and lofts, artist lofts and things like that. So I don't think any of it is really residential. But yeah, I mean, do you want to? I think it might be good for our listeners to sort of describe, in case they aren't familiar with Folsom, what Folsom is. So maybe we can do this in a fun way. I'll list some things and you tell me what comes to mind for Folsom for you. So,
okay.
What is the first sight of Folsom you think of?
The black harness. I mean, you see that everywhere. Every single guy and girl has some version of it. Yeah. So that's the first thing that pops into my mind. A
lot of leather. Are you into leather?
Not sexually. Yeah, or actually, I don't even think it looks good.
Fair. Right. I mean, I like the Tom of Finland concept. If you're familiar with that, the Tom of Finland, drawings of just these overly muscular people in tight leather. That I think that looks good, but it doesn't do anything for me. It could be denim or anything else. And I dress up in it just because it's everyone's doing it. Peer pressure.
I don't think it looks particularly nice or better.
I mean, I think I look good in it, but that goes for most things. So
narcissist.
Yeah. All right. What about what's the first sound of Folsom that comes?
Someone going,
ugh. I thought it was going to be the smack of someone getting flogged or something.
Which happens. I mean, there's always a section where people line up to get hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waddled.
Is it waddled or?
No.
I think it's just flogged.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a couple of different things. I've seen people sort of getting hit with like the paddle board kind of thing that's got like the hole in it.
Yeah, like the frat paddle.
Yeah, and then I've seen the, I don't know what you call it, but like the little like crop, like the horse crop kind of thing. I've seen that too. That's got like the leather strips.
Yeah, the horse whip.
Yeah, I think it's called a crop, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. We're vanilla. We only do it missionary in the dark. So
yeah, I mean, also that's just painful. I don't like I don't even like to be slapped.
Huh, surprising. I figured you'd be in it. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. What is the smell that comes to mind when you think of Folsom?
BO. It's like every single party during Folsom is just like, it's a little smelly.
Yeah. And I mean, some of this, or I think a lot of it is intentional, right? Because this is like a major kink for a lot of people, is just like body odor.
Yeah. And it only takes one person to ruin it for everyone.
Yeah. And to what you were talking about earlier, it's sort of uncharacteristically warm. Like this time of the year is always nice, but it's warmer than it has been. This is probably the nicest Folsom I've experienced so far, but because it's warmer, people are smellier. And
yeah. Honestly, it's probably been the best San Francisco weather this year.
Global warming.
It's not that bad.
She getting hot, girl.
Yeah, she's getting a little good.
Honestly, it's
5 more degrees in San Francisco is going to be
the best city.
Best city.
Yeah. Outside of Barcelona. Yeah.
So I do remember there being some controversy, particularly around the Gen Z millennial discussions on TikTok about Folsom.
Mm-hmm. You were mentioning this.
Yeah. Well, I saw a video and it seems that Gen Z might be kind of a little more conservative than millennials in terms of sex.
Yeah, I mean, I have my theories about this, my non-professional theories, but yeah, Gen Z is very like trying to fit into this homogenized heteronormative culture, right? Like I can think of some of the more like the younger people that we've met in the gay community, queer LGBT community, and they're less interested in going to like gay specific bars or anything like that. Like they see themselves as just a part of like the broader society. So my thought is that anything that probably feels out there or different might make them feel like that status or privilege is at risk. They've never really had to fight for their place in the world. They grew up with Love, Simon, and all these other things that have just made things a little bit more normal for them.
Yeah, and you've seen a lot of gay bars and lesbian bars fall over the years. Yeah, because they're more likely to go towards a mixed space than feel the need to go to a gay or lesbian place. Like they just it's changed a bit.
Yeah, totally. So as we were saying, Folsom, major celebration here in San Francisco. It's actually the third largest in California, like third largest outdoor festival in California. But the general theme is celebrating like BDSM, kink. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but every year I go, it gets more and more diverse. I see more straight people than I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's a ton of women, and you'll see partners like man, woman, which is, I guess, traditionally it's more queer, but I think as we've lived
heavily
here longer,
queer coded.
As we've lived longer, there's been here in the city, there's been more heterosexual couples that go there and explore, get freaky.
Yeah. Do you have any kinks? What's your biggest kink?
Oof, I'm being put on the spot. God, I don't know.
Besides yourself.
This is naughty. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, God. I think I can't do it. Oh, the concept of someone eating cum, like, like a blowjob and like swallowing is like very turning on me. Like
that's so normal.
Okay. Well, that's great. What's your biggest fetish?
Like my actual one, or like my day-to-day life, like biggest kink, or what's my like gay sex fetish kink?
Oh, I just said something that was gay sex fetish.
I mean, mine's pretty vanilla too. As you know, I'm an ass man. I like a big ass. So, and I'm very into
getting shat on.
Absolutely not. You know, I would projectile vomit immediately. We'll get into that, my sensitive gag reflex. But obviously, I'm very into visual arts and aesthetics. I like interior design. I like fashion. So it's no surprise, since I also like big butts, that underwear would be like a big thing for me, because it just takes something that's
thongs, huh?
jock straps, you know, the whole gamut, like anything that makes something that I already find attractive and makes it that much more aesthetically pleasing. Like, yeah, I mean, that's a turn on for me. I was going to say, though, I do have like a lot of other kinks, and I would say my biggest one is, do you know when you get into an elevator, you're the only person in the elevator, and
you fart?
No. You what? No, I don't do that, Alex. You know when you hear someone coming, but you haven't made eye contact with them yet, and you're like quickly hitting the button, and when the elevator doors close, and
in front of them?
No, well, so I feel like it's socially acceptable as long as you haven't like seen each other yet. Like, they have not made eye contact with you. There is no hi to me quite like that. Like, I think I do a little dance where I'm just like, oh my God, yes, like I made it. I get to enjoy this elevator to myself. Yeah. I love that.
I can love just see shit. A woman being, please stop, and you showing no emotion, just closing the making sure you hit the button.
Anyway, that's my kink. All right, so back to Folsom. What what stood out to you this year, like at the festival?
Every single year, because there's also Dory Alley, which is a similar concept. It's much smaller and it's more gay men. But every single time I enter Folsom, I always find I don't do it on purpose, but we always see the kiddie pool with the men, mostly men. Although last year I saw a woman getting pissed on.
They're getting peed on, yeah.
And like you just like pass by it. First of all, it smells like piss.
This is what I thought your smell, by the way, for Folsom was going to be, just the stench of urine. But I guess it's fairly concentrated to. Yeah. Although in a lot of places we were, people were just peeing randomly everywhere. Like we were on the top of a bar and someone was just peeing there. Yeah.
But the kiddie pools, yeah, that's every time.
Yeah, like to paint that picture for our listeners a little bit more, there's adult men of all and women of varying age, body types, etc., in a literal kiddie pool filled like I don't know, knee deep of urine.
I wouldn't say knee deep. People come
maybe ankle deep. Yeah.
Yeah, people like pee, like it doesn't come with pee. Like people throughout the day will start peeing.
It's beside or across from like the restrooms, the porta potties, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can either wait in the line for that, or there's basically no line if you just want to pee on someone.
Yeah, and they just like they roll around in it, and it's like it's always yellow pee. Too.
Oh, I think that's kind of like what they want, though. Like, I think they want that dehydrated, highly pungent, very flavorful urine.
Man, I don't like. Who's the one that's like, all right, like they probably have like a text message group, and they're just like, who's bringing the kiddie pool?
Yeah.
And then they blow it up.
Someone has to arrange it every year.
Do
you think they have to secure like a permit for that section every year?
It moves.
Okay, so it's not like the allotted space.
Yeah, I doubt it. Like, what are they going to go to San Francisco City Hall? Hey, we're making sure that we get the kiddie pool next to the urines on Folsom and 11th Street.
Yeah, the people expect it. They demand it. Oof. Would you do it?
Piss on people?
Yeah. Maybe not strangers, but like if your boyfriend was like, hey, I really want you to pee on me, would you do it?
I would not do it to my boyfriend. I would do it if a really hot guy, this is like a hookup, and like if they're hot and they're like, hey, like would you like please piss on me? I'd be like, yeah. I'm also the same thing. Like if a really hot guy was like, hey, can I like suck on your toes? Yeah, I'd do it. I probably wouldn't do it to them, and I'd let them know.
You mean you wouldn't let someone pee on you, but you would pee on them?
I'd pee on them and same, like, yeah.
In the bed or like in the shower?
I'd ask to do it in the shower.
So you'd be open to the bed?
If they were really hot and it's the only way, yeah. You wouldn't?
I don't know.
Really?
Again, I have like a pretty low tolerance for
I think I'd start laughing.
gross things. I have done it to someone before that
You're lying.
demanded that I do it.
You've never told me this story.
It's actually happened twice.
Are you serious? Same person?
Two different people.
You little slut.
Both were hot. Not the experience. The experience was lame. Like, there's nowhere to take that. Like, it doesn't do anything for me.
Where did you pee on them?
Both showers.
Okay. So you clean up.
Yeah, and I'm a well-hydrated person, so mine's like the clear.
Mine's basically water.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably healthy, honestly.
Did they drink it or just get peed on?
No. It's just like on the chest. If they drink it, I would be like, no, we're done here.
And they wanted a kiss.
Yeah, I mean, one of them actually had more graphic requests, but we won't go there.
Ooh, I can't believe you did it.
Younger times.
Yeah.
Look, you experiment, you figure out what you like and don't like, and that's the beauty of something like Folsom. It brings all these people together that have all these varying interests. They're all consenting adults, and they can sort of find other people that have the same interests as them.
And another thing I do want to mention is that this section is so all of Folsom Fair is closed off. Families, you cannot bring a child in there, and I remember that being like a major point among like conservative outlets. Like,
well, right. Yeah. It's always like the boogeyman thing that these things are out to like get your kids or expose your kids to these sort of things. But this thing is very blocked off. You have to be 18 plus to enter. Like, they make a big point about consent. And I think like the broader BDSM community, this is like a sticking point. Consent.
Safe words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing, it's great. I think it's Folsom Fair. It's a great concept.
The things that stick out to me about Folsom every year, first of all, is the number of pups.
So cute.
Would you have one? Would you get a pup?
The same thing. I would not date someone it's weird. Like, it's so weird. I would, again, if like Zane Phillips was like, hey, I'm going to put on a mask. All right. Just pretend to be my owner, and I'm going to bark around, just like ignore it. I do that for one night and one night only. There's
a movie, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's like an apocalyptic comedy movie, but Channing Tatum is a pup in it. And his body actually looks really good in it, like with the mask. But so for those that don't know, a pup it's a power dynamic sort of thing, but someone dons a puppy dog sort of mask, and occasionally they wear a tail butt plug. And yeah, they sort of take on the behavior of
a dog. They bark.
They bark. They wear leashes. They crawl on the ground.
They like to be pet.
Yes, they like to be pet.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not always like a submissive thing, right? Like, can't puppies also be dominant too?
There could be an alpha. Yeah, there's an alpha, a beta. So there could be like an alpha of a pack. You can be a part of a pack. So multiple, and there's like an order of succession.
I wonder if you howled, if they would like respond to you.
Everyone, like, that's how I command. Like, I get 50,000. All of them
followers on Instagram. Is that you become the alpha?
I'm the alpha, and like, or I've been prophesized. Like, they're like one day.
The stories foretold of you. And so for those that don't know Alex, haven't seen Alex, like, Alex is you're a little bit of a furry-ish individual, and he does this really hilarious thing when it's a full moon that you can sort of contort the
shoulder blades. I can pop out my shoulder blades, both of them.
Yeah, and it literally looks like you're morphing into a werewolf, and he'll howl at the moon, and yeah, I mean, it just kind of works for you. But I think you could become an alpha. Maybe this is your role in life.
Easily. I do remember Folsom. I think it must have been pre-pandemic. Maybe it might have been 2021. I was wearing jeans, boots, shirtless, obviously, and I have a beard and hair on my chest. The guy came up to me and said, "You look like a werewolf." And I've never been. I'm still chasing the high of being told that.
Well, maybe you found your people.
I do remember last year though, being on the Oasis rooftop and it being super crowded and us being right next to adult diaper people.
Yeah, this is another thing that you are likely to see at Folsom. It's another one of the routine characters are the adult babies. How do you feel about this kink?
We have different opinions. I think that, if as long as you're not hurting anyone, go ahead and do it. But I specifically remember this scene from last year. So we're on the rooftop. It's tons of people, shoulder to shoulder. You can't really move. We were next to this adult diaper group there's probably at least 4 of them.
Yeah, it's a small space. So you can't easily move, relocate from this. You're just kind of stuck and exposed to whatever occurs in this little section.
So these adult diaper people, they're next to us. One of them starts getting changed, like someone's changing their diaper, and we're really high. First of all,
yeah, we had some edibles.
And
probably a few drinks by then too.
Yeah, they started getting changed, and we were panicking because we thought that maybe he shat himself.
Well, it was diaper changing time, so logically, you think that there's a reason for the need to change the diaper in public.
It's one of two reasons. One of two reasons.
Yeah,
but he peels it. I looked to Colby. Colby famously has one of the weakest stomachs. He starts gagging, but we can't go anywhere because we're stuck. And he pulls back the diapers. Thank God it's just piss. And he has this raging hard on.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly turned on by the fact that he's getting his diaper changed, especially in public in front of others.
And they're, putting the powder on.
Oh, yeah, they had the full kit.
Getting it's being cleaned and it's a hard on the entire time. And then he gets the new diaper and he's comforted.
I'm starting to gag. I'm trying to prevent projectile vomiting on you right now. You know what I say? Sometimes yums need to be yucked. This is one of them for me. It's look, they're consenting adults. To your point, they can do whatever they want. This one's a weird one for me. I know it has nothing to do with babies or kids or anything like that. It's something about the control and being dominant sub.
And the comfort.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things around that. I think for me, it's just this is definitely not on my list. And what was really funny last year was that in front of Oasis, which is the bar where this happened, they actually had an adult baby diaper store set up that was also selling little bottles with formula and everything. And it was an interesting sight.
I think it's every year they have that same stand.
Yeah, it wasn't in front of in front of Oasis this time, but I'm sure that similar thing was there.
But I do remember seeing. Yeah, the reason why I thought that is because we saw another adult baby right in front of Oasis this year.
Yeah, the one thing I never get to see at Folsom, but I hear about it every year, is someone getting fisted. It's been my 4th Folsom. I still have not seen anyone get fisted in public.
I don't think I've seen that either, and I think the reason why is because I think you have to be really prepared to get fisted because you're really up in there.
You do you think they come to the street fair knowing that's going to happen that day? I guess they'd have to, right?
You
probably bring supplies for it,
and it's probably I don't think it's going to be. I think you have to. There's a short window.
Yeah.
Because you're all up in the column.
And to be clear, again, not anything I want to see because it's interesting to me. It's just, it feels like one of these things you always hear about at Folsom, but I haven't seen it. So did it happen? I have no idea.
Oh, look, a puppet.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of people think, or they don't know this, but Folsom, the fair is on Sunday, but it probably starts realistically Thursday. The big parties are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mm-hmm. So we went to a couple that weekend.
Yeah. So Friday was cool.
Yeah. Friday of Folsom weekend, we did a cool house party. Don't know the owners.
We randomly tagged along to this house party.
Tagged along. Thank you, Audrey. But we went to this house party, and it was a lot of people that flew in from all over.
Yeah, clearly most of these people were not from San Francisco.
It was a very specific type of person, though.
Yeah, it's what I mentioned earlier about like the Tom of Finland sort of drawings. These people looked like something straight out of Tom of Finland's like visuals.
And by that he means everyone was juiced,
roided, huge. Alex is a pretty fit guy. You're definitely not someone I would describe as small. And out of would you say there was maybe like 150 people there? We were definitely the two smallest people
and youngest.
And for sure. Well, I don't know if we were the youngest though, because when you juice, that can change the way you look. But
that's true.
It was an interesting environment to be in because we were clearly not anyone's type there.
Yeah. It was definitely like you're looking for the 50 and over, bald, bearded,
gorilla.
Juiced. Yes, with the wearing a chain around your neck sort of look.
Oh, the like massive curb chains.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Like the chain link sort of.
Everyone's wearing the painted on steel shorts, maybe something leather and like a tank top.
Yeah.
Same sort of like buzz cut military style hair dudes. They're all huge.
But it was fun. Everyone was super nice.
What was it like for you to be in a space where no one was interested in you?
I mean, it just, probably this is the first time that's ever happened.
I bet.
And you know what? I'm sure they did. They were just scared because I have to give off that face, like, don't talk to me. He would never go for someone like me.
Sure.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we also did Bare Chest, which is a Saturday day party, and I think it was like the 25th anniversary of it doing. So it's like a charity. The money generated from this organization goes towards like the DJs and music community in San Francisco. So it's a very unique charity. It's great. It's like I think we bought tickets probably 2 months in advance because it sells out really, really quick. It was held at the DNA Lounge.
Yeah, it was my first time going to that venue. But it's a cool venue.
Great venue. I mean,
also kind of weird. Well, I guess it's always weird for me that these venues do more than gay events because you go into this place, it's gay. It's gay. Like it's kind of got like dungeony vibes to it. Like the walls are black, the rooms are tight and cramped, and it's kind of like a labyrinth of just all these spaces that in gay parties. There's all kinds of things happening in these rooms.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time like porting this over to the straight world and in visualizing them in these spaces. And not only that, this place is also a lot of the events they hold there are 18 plus. So I can't imagine like what I would think
the
of
crowd.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
It's gonna be weird, but it definitely looks like a giant like sex room.
Yeah, I remember at one point there was some guy that had come up to you on the dance floor to compliment you, but I couldn't understand him or hear him. Frankly, I could barely even see him, but he reminded me of another guy that came up to us in LA, the one that like had to get your Instagram. But we saw him like 15 minutes later, and as he was entering someone else, and I just remember thinking, Alex, that could have been you.
Oh God,
could have been you.
I do also remember there is Colby was taking a picture of me as he often does. And
I'm a good friend. I'm a supportive friend. I give you all kinds of stuff to use on your social media.
And I do sometimes, occasionally.
Sometimes. Rarely.
Reciprocate that. Rarely. But he was taking a picture of me, and in the background was this guy in a jockstrap getting his ass ate. And
he was a munch.
He was a munch, but it's like, it's so artistic. Like the composition of it, the lighting, like it.
Well, both of them look like. I mean, I didn't think I saw them from the front, but both of them look like they have good physiques, and it looks kind of architectural in the background. And I don't know, it's kind of like.
It's how the Greeks would have done it.
It's actually what I was thinking of. It feels like neoclassical architecture in a way.
Chef's kiss. There was also a
new LinkedIn photo.
Yeah. There was also a pizza parlor attached to DNA Lounge, the Bare Chest, which I thought was a great touch.
Well, it's nice that they have food there, but I'm never hungry in these spaces.
Yeah, also like that, why would, like it's cheese, like you're gonna poop.
Yeah, I mean, with the things that people were doing, especially as the party got later, right? There were definitely a lot of people getting very friendly with one another. That's like a weird food choice. Also, again, with the sight, sound, smells of Folsom, eating is like the last thing on my mind. Yeah, so it's a weird choice. I guess it's nice that they have the option, but honestly, it was making me kind of nauseous to smell it.
Yeah, so there were 3 dance floors. There was the major dance floor, which is circuit music and kind of exactly what you would anticipate.
Pots and pans. There was like a deep house room, basically like the K-hole room. And then there was the back pop room, which everyone wanted to be in. It was the smallest dance floor of all of them, but you could not, it was hard to even get to it because everybody wanted to be in that space. That DJ was the best, should have been the main room DJ.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but we met some people and they said it was the same setup last year, that same DJ was in that tiny little room. So whoever's running this party, you need to put that DJ in the main room.
Yeah, they should. The K room should be circuit music. The K music should be in the small room. And the main attraction should be everyone's there for like
there were bops.
They're bops. Bop after bop after bop.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Also, thank God we weren't drinking because the lines for the bars, because we went to go get water. It took 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. It's too much. And also, like, people are in such a state that they're not really moving. They're just, like, catatonic and hanging out in those places. So it's like, it's literally trying to get through, like, a horde of zombies, like, when you're near the bar to get anywhere. And, yeah, it's just not pleasant. So I try not to drink.
Yeah. But the layout, at least the layout of the place was really, really cool. It reminded me of, like, a London sort of club.
My one complaint of these spaces, though, is that it's always too hot. What do these people have against airflow?
The walls are sweating.
Literally sweating. And it's beating off the ceiling. Like, you'll just get hit with random, like, drops of water that you're like, what's happening? But you're kind of thankful that, there's something cool hitting you.
Yeah.
Or you'll occasionally feel like a small gust of air, whether it comes from a door opening or, I don't know, whatever they're using to ventilate the place. But
I'm surprised more people don't like just completely collapse. It's so hot.
And I get it. Like, it gets you to like take your clothes off and like,
man, I was expecting Nelly to come out in there and just be like, it's getting hot. It's getting hot. The roof is on fire.
Nice.
Any other notes?
No, that's all I have to say about this one. It was fun. I hope we do Bear Chest again next year.
Highly recommend Bear Chest. Get your tickets early. It sells out every year. It was a really, really fun time.
And maybe bring one of those little, either like the clap style fans or like the little personal handheld battery operated ones because it's hot.
Or an ice chest.
Yeah.
Just get inside. But on Sunday, we ended up doing Oasis. So the fair, once you see it once, it's fun to walk around the fair on Sunday, but it doesn't change that much. You're going to see for us.
Right. Because it's like, we're not necessarily participating in the kink or the exhibitions. Although I did see they had a wrestling pit this year, and I think that would have been really fun. I don't know if they've had it previous years.
Did we watch it? Or did
we saw it from like the distance, but I saw a TikTok about it, and I was like, I would love to participate in this.
Did were people wearing singlets?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there's also like a kink element to it.
You know what? I want to change my answer. Singlets
really
are hot. I think they're so hot. And
it's like the assless kind?
No. I want like the
real
classic,
deal.
Yeah, like the college wrestler.
Have you worn one before?
Maybe.
You own one?
I don't.
Okay.
I do not.
Remind me never to open your drawers at your place.
Yeah, it's going to be like all like sticky.
Crunchy.
It breaks in half.
But yeah, like Alex and I aren't, really members of the BDSM community. We don't really participate in any of the kinks. So the things that we participate in are more of like the parties and events because we want to show our support and come out and, be there with all of our other members of the community.
Yeah. So we typically, at least for the last couple of years, we do a quick walk around just to, we donate, walk around, make sure, see what, if we, like anything.
Alex might want a bigger butt plug.
Yeah, exactly. It's the perfect, that next to like the paintings of penises and sculptures. But we typically walk around for like 30 minutes and then make our way to Oasis, which every year is kind of like a scene to be at.
Yeah, and it always hosts my favorite DJ.
DJ Pumpkin Spice.
Yeah, I'm such a fan.
Yeah.
If he's listening, I love you, Pumpkin.
But we go to Oasis. The rooftop is like till like 5 p.m. is like the cool place to kind of stop.
Well, you have a view of some parts of the street fair and you can just sort of relax and hang out.
Hang out with your friends. It's usually really crowded, typically by like 3, 4. It's really hard to get in. But it's like a fun little hangout spot.
Yeah. And this was the first year that we went to Pumpkin Spice's set downstairs, which I guess it never really occurred to me that he didn't come on like earlier in the day because you could hear music, but just barely. So I never really could tell what was playing, but he does like a set later on that it was the first time we had joined that part of the Oasis party. 5
to 9. We're there for like an hour and a half, like vibing. I mean, it's a great scene. Tons of people there at that time.
Genuinely the only time I've ever enjoyed the Oasis.
Really?
Yeah, only time.
So yeah, I always
not the venue. Like I like the venue. There's a good amount of space. It's easy-ish to go to the bathrooms. There's a lot of bars. It's a fairly big venue. I rarely feel like it's too crowded, but like the music there, I don't know, for whatever reason, typically is just not my thing, but obviously with Pumpkin Spice, that changes that part of it.
Yeah, and it's not, for me, it's not the music. It's sometimes the performances can be a little excessive. If you're talking, like, if you want to go and dance, like Oasis, Friday, Saturday might not be the best place because these performances will go on for hours.
On and on. And you'll get 20 minutes of dancing, but then 3 hours of collective shows and performances, it feels like, to it. So to your point, like you can't just have a night out dancing there. You get all the other things that come with it.
But they do have AC.
They do have AC.
And I remember this year when we were, dancing, we're right next to the AC because we're not stupid. And we know that if we leave that area, it gets really, really hot. But everyone else was also getting the same idea, including people participating in public sex.
Well, you and I both had sunglasses on. And I remember we were just vibing in our own world. And so I had a hard time telling what was going on around me because it was really dark in there. I remember they had like red lighting, which I feel like already makes it kind of harder to see what's going on. And then we had sunglasses on. But at one point, I like took my sunglasses off for a minute to wipe my eye or something. My contacts were drying out. And I look over and this guy's just getting like plowed beside you. And it not just beside you, but like his knee was almost touching your left knee. And you remember what I asked you?
Yeah, you're like, this guy's gonna... yeah, you said, would you be okay if someone accidentally came on you? And I said, depends how hard they are.
How hot they are?
Yeah.
And then I said, well, this guy right here is about to.
Yeah, and you know what? I still refuse to move because that AC
we were right in front of the AC. Man, location. You were dedicated.
Yeah, by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Did you have shorts on? I can't remember.
No, I had pants, boots, and the black harness.
You could have went home with a memento. Thankfully, they moved. I think they moved to somewhere there was like railing or something for better leverage.
Railing for railing.
Yeah, exactly. But that was interesting.
So, would you who would you recommend Folsom to?
I mean, I'm not keen to say that it's for everyone, right? I think it needs to be something that you go into with an open mind, but I think it's a place that can expand your horizons, so to say, open you up, if you will, to a lot of new experiences. So you just need to go in there, again, with an open mind. If you're an ally of the LGBTQ2 plus community, it's a great way to come out and like show your support. You pay like an entrance fee that goes to like good causes. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a quintessential San Francisco activity, and it's very queer. And it's something that we as a community should continue to support and celebrate.
A very wholesome Folsom.
Wholesome Folsom. What about you?
I would recommend it for people that are adventurous, like are okay with seeing public sex, a lot of it. And again, it's not
and often not from people that you might find attractive.
Exactly.
It's an anything goes kind of space, really.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different from like the circuit parties in terms of like who attends. It's a lot more of a range. A lot of people flying from like Europe, and the party that we went to, the house party, people were coming from South America. Mm-hmm. So it's a very, very demographically different group than most other parties.
Yep. But as we've highlighted, there's a lot of different kinds of activities at Folsom. I think there's a little bit of something for anyone that, again, is open-minded and willing to, just try something new. And I think we had a blast.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe some notes, some disclaimers, but all around a good time.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you to listening to the first episode of No Notes, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
See you later.
Hey, it's Colby and Alex here. Thank you for listening to No Notes.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and share with your friends.
You can also follow us on Instagram at No Notes Pod, one word, where you'll find updates on new episodes and see more into our lives and the stories that we share with you on the show.
Your support means the world to us. Until next time, keep it real and keep it queer.